Redmond is thinking gas tax. I'm Steve Coffey, and this is Take 5 on News Talk 1110 KBND. The Redmond City Council has directed the city attorney and Public Works Director Chris Doty to draft an ordinance that would enact a 3 cents per gallon tax on gasoline sales within the city.
First and foremost, pavement maintenance is a huge issue, and Redmond has grown so much over the past decade that we have essentially doubled our lane miles in our street system. And the funding sources that traditionally come with growth haven't quite responded commensurate with the amount of growth we've had in our transportation system. And so as we've analyzed our long-term projections, we've determined that we're going to need a revenue increase to keep up with pavement maintenance and make our system sustainable in that regard.
The 2009 state legislature approved House Bill 2001 that the governor has signed into law, which adds an additional 6 cents per gallon gas tax statewide. This tax money is to be distributed around the state to assist local governments in paying for road and street maintenance. Redmond Mayor George Endicott says even this state money will not be enough.
We're going to face about a $700,000 deficit on road maintenance funds, even with the increase in the state tax. If you look at the way your roads degrade over time, it's an exponential problem, because in 5 years we're going to have a $2.5 million problem. In 10 years, we're going to have a $6 million problem. So if we don't do something, it just gets more and more expensive. And if we implement the 3 cent a gallon gas tax, that's going to gain us about $300,000 a year, give or take. So while it doesn't solve the entire gap, it takes a big chunk out of it.
Right now, you can pass a gas tax if the council so chooses without going to a vote of the people.
Right, and that's in our charter. That's why we can do it. However, the state law, the reason basically the state's forcing our hand. They said if you don't implement a gas tax by September 28th of this year, you can't do it until the year 2014. So they put a moratorium on, and so they forced our hand to look at it. If we're going to do it, we have to do it fairly quickly.
The legislature passed a 6 cent a gallon gas tax. Will not take effect until either A, 2 consecutive quarters of economic growth, or B, 2011, whichever comes first.
That's correct.
But most people are guessing that's going to be 2011.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the city has to pass the ordinance by September 28th or wait until 2014 before it can consider the idea again. And the new state law also mandates that any gas tax proposal then would have to face the city's voters. Chris Doty says a gas tax would actually cost city residents less than implementing a utility tax to fund street maintenance.
By and large, there's better value, I think, for your average citizen in implementing that gas tax, especially in this region where we do have a lot of visitors, a lot of people passing through the area that can now, via gas tax, help pay for transportation system maintenance, rather than relying on all the residences and businesses in the city limits to pay for that.
A gas tax, as you're looking at it, would mean that the people who are actually putting the wear and tear on the roads and streets would be helping to pay for their maintenance.
Certainly, that's a theme that we've heard a lot of in the past couple of weeks as we've talked about this. People seem to favor the gas tax and the fairness issue as it relates to the utility fee for that reason. It hits the consumer directly, and the person who doesn't drive much, owns one car, gets charged the same with utility fee as the family that has 5 cars on the road, so to speak. So we've heard that a lot recently.
Madras is looking at an incremental increase in the gas tax over 3 years, 1 cent, 2 cents, then 3 cents. Is it too soon to call whether Redmond will want to go for the full 3 cents or maybe go something similar?
Yes, it's too soon to call.
There is one question that is not too soon to call. The City Council wants any gasoline tax money to be locked in to pay for street maintenance only and not be available for any other use. George Endicott said the feedback he's been getting is that people would support a gasoline tax with that guarantee in place. The draft of the ordinance is to be in front of the Redmond City Council at its August 25th meeting. There will be, of course, the public hearing process where people will be invited to tell the council what they think. The ordinance has to be approved by September 28th to beat the moratorium deadline, but the tax would not take effect for at least 30 days or longer. I'm Steve Coffey. Take 5 is a presentation of 1110 KBND Radio News. Depend on us.